And this is Sid Haas with LKCS. I'm the Vice President of Business Development here. And today's presentation is going to focus on matrix campaigns. And we're going to be talking about how we utilize matrix campaigns and how our customers can utilize matrix campaigns to cross-sell additional products and services to different groups of account holders. So when we talk about matrix campaigns, what I consider a matrix campaign is the definition that you're seeing on your screen. It's a predetermined series of either direct mail pieces, email messages, even outbound phone calls. For those of you that have the ability to print personalized messages or ads on your statements, that can play a part in a matrix campaign. But what you're doing is you're mapping out, a series of messages that you're going to send, to account holders based on the products and services that they have with you, based on their demographics, where they live, all sorts of those things. So we're going to combine that information, and make sure that the direct mail, the email, the statement messages, and the outbound phone calls that we're making are highly targeted, designed to elicit a specific result. So why, should you pay attention or should you consider matrix marketing? Well, first, it's proven. There's a lot of different places, that offer these services, including LKCS, and the reason that we all offer it is because it works. The campaigns are automated, and that's a tremendous advantage to you. Everybody has significant demands on their time, and developing any marketing campaign takes a considerable amount of time. Matrix campaigns are no different. In fact, in some cases, they take more time, than a standard marketing campaign. However, once you invest that time and effort, and once they're started, you can put those campaigns on autopilot, and they continue to work for you month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year. And your responsibility then becomes just to monitor the results of those campaigns and adjust them as needed. But again, they continue to happen without your involvement necessarily. Without your direct involvement anyway. You're not necessarily printing those letters or sending those emails. You're just managing the process, and watching the results. Personalized communications, we've known for years that personalized marketing, is more effective than, just your non-personalized communications. Well, and that it continues to be that way. So the more relevant that you can make any of your marketing materials, the better that will be. And when we start looking at what accounts and services, different households and individuals have with your institution, what balances they carry, and start to get a picture, of each of those customers, and members, then we have the ability to really target the marketing efforts towards them. So matrix campaigns can be made up of a variety of components, as I've already indicated. We can use direct mail. We can send out postcards, letters, any type of self-mailer, all sorts of different things. We even had one customer recently send out, instead of sending an envelope, a standard envelope, they actually sent out a paper bag as the envelope, and the bag itself was imprinted with your savings are in the bag. And we use that as part of a campaign. So you can be creative, with any of your marketing campaigns, including matrix campaigns. You can send out email. We've all been collecting email addresses. You may already be utilizing email marketing in other channels. Well, we can leverage email marketing as part of your matrix campaign. That'll do a couple of things. First, it'll reduce your costs. Obviously, email is less expensive than sending out direct mail. And it will also reach, a different group, of people. There are people that prefer to be contacted by email. There are people that prefer to be contacted by mail. There are people that prefer to be contacted by phone. We can even incorporate text messaging as part of our matrix campaigns, because there are people, my wife is the perfect example. If you text her, she'll respond to you. If you call or email her, good luck. So, you can incorporate outbound phone calls. We can literally run a campaign and then each month just give you a list of, of members to call, or even send that list to different branch managers, for example, to say, here are the handful of members or customers for you to call this month, for about this product or service. And again, for those of you that have advanced statement marketing capabilities, including any customers that use LKCS's statement services, we have the ability to incorporate statement inserts, those big graphical ads that are on your statements. We can actually take the first page of your statement and make it a personalized cover letter. And we can also selectively include different inserts with your statement so that different groups of account holders can get different messages. And all of that can be leveraged and become part of a matrix campaign. So let's jump into some specific types of matrix campaigns and some specific examples of when you might want to use them. And I'll also show you some examples of what these campaigns actually could look like and how they can be structured. So the most common use of a matrix campaign is for new account holder onboarding. We've all heard that term, it's come to light in the last few years. One of the industry buzzwords is an onboarding campaign. Well, the goal there is obviously to cross-sell products and services to new members and new customers. If you look across, the banking industry, 30% of your new account holders will actually leave your institution within the first year. So the challenge is obviously how to reduce that churn rate and how to keep them, as members and customers. At the same time, during the first 90 days, those new account holders are more likely to purchase additional products and services from you. There was a reason that they opened that first account with you. So let's capitalize on that reason. Let's communicate with them on a regular basis, and let's cross-sell additional products and services that fit their financial profile. Obviously, you want to not only retain them, you want to make them profitable. And the way you do that is to cross-sell products and services. Let me show you a couple of ways that we can do that. Now, keep in mind that this is a flow chart, and I'll go through this. I'll enlarge it in more detail so everybody can read it. But this is how we initially structure a matrix campaign for our clients. We map out the strategy. Who are we going to contact? What vehicle? What pieces are we going to send out? How often are we going to send them out? Who are we going to send them out to? What products and services are we going to promote? And things like that. This is not a realistic example. In other words, this is not an example for any particular customer, or anything like that. But I use these illustrations to give you an idea of what's possible. Whenever we outline these campaigns for our clients, we have strategic discussions with them, determine the advantages and disadvantages in their market and different things to really determine, the best approach to these types of cross-selling offers. But let me explain what's happening in this particular matrix example. So we have a new account holder. Somebody opens their first account, with the credit union. Well, LKCS finds out about it. You send us a list of those new account holders, and we first look to see if they live close to a branch. There are different products and services that will appeal to people that live close to your facilities, that live closer to your facilities than others. Not that there's, products and services that won't appeal if they live further away, but there's a different combination of products and services that you're likely to attract. So for those members that live close to a branch, we know statistically that you have a higher probability of getting their checking account business, and that's obviously something that every, institution wants. So we're going to then look, after we've identified that they live close to a branch, we're going to look if they already have a checking account with you. We're not going to promote checking accounts to somebody that already has one, because we want to make sure that our mail pieces and our email messages and all of those things are relevant to the recipient. If they do not have a checking account, we're going to send them a welcome letter, welcome to, our credit union, or welcome to our bank, and include information in this example on rewards checking. The checking account flavor of the month, as I call it. If they do have a checking account, we'll send them a welcome letter, but maybe we'll include information about our CDs and money markets. They've already opened a deposit account with us, so maybe there's additional deposits, that they have out there that they're considering moving. We can attract those. We can just as well make that a loan offer, and different things. If they don't live close to a branch, though, that letter will still welcome them to your institution, but it's going to talk about how they can do business with your institution from a distance. Your electronic services, your surcharge-free ATMs, your direct deposit, all of those different things, that are going to appeal to them. After that initial letter, that welcome letter, and whatever that first cross-sell message is, in this example, we're going to start looking for loans. So we're going to look and see if that individual has an auto loan with your institution. If not, we're going to promote auto loans. Now, obviously, you'll see, in these side margins, that we can add all sorts of other conditions to these. We can add age filters, we can add credit score filters. There's different things we can do to conditionalize these letters. But again, this is just a somewhat simplified example so that you can understand what's possible. So for those people that don't have an auto loan, we're going to promote auto loans. For those people that do have an auto loan, and the month after, people do receive the auto loan offer, we're going to look and see if they have a credit card. And if they don't have a credit card, obviously we're going to promote credit cards. If they do have a credit card, let's send them an offer to transfer existing balances from other cards to yours. So again, there's two different messages, based on the decision about whether they have a credit card with you or not. After that, we'll look for mortgages or HELOCs. We'll look for home loans. If they don't have a home loan, let's get them a home loan. Again, we can add criteria such as the amount of equity in their house, and different things like that. Interestingly, in this example, and this is actually something that we found works really well, is we will again look at those people that live close to the branch. And those people that do live close to the branch, we're going to go after that checking account one more time. So if they still haven't opened that checking account, we're going to send out what we call a second chance letter. And we've actually seen in some cases that second chance letter outperforms that first letter. And it's not that it's placed later, although that may have something to do with it, but we've seen that if you don't have the checking account up front, that putting it later in the matrix doesn't necessarily increase the results. It's really a combination of just them having, hearing about it twice. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to do that, let's do it now. Type of thing. So it really serves as a good reminder. In this example, that's the end, of this new onboarding matrix. But there's different ways that we can structure these matrix messages or these matrix campaigns. So I'm going to go through one more example for onboarding, and in this case, what we're going to do is segment those new account holders right away by age or lifestyle. We can append information, if any of the different lifestyle models and things. In this example, I'm just splitting it into 3 age groups. I'm taking, my students ages 15 to 20. I'm taking my young adults ages 20 to 45, and I'm taking my older adults age 45 plus. We can change these, age groups any way you'd like. We can, add additional groups. Again, this is just an example. You'll notice that at first, the messages start out the same. We're looking for checking accounts. Everybody's going to get a welcome and checking letter. There might be different graphics. There might be different text for the different age groups. But everybody's going to get a welcome, to my institution, and have you opened a checking account with us, or why don't you open a checking account with us type letter. You'll then start to see that these strategy diverges, I guess, based on the age groups. So for the 15 to 20-year-olds and the 20 to 45-year-olds, we're going to look for auto loans. And again, the text and graphics and messaging on these may be different. Maybe that 15 to 20-year-old, they're probably more likely to respond to an email, so maybe those aren't letters at all. Maybe they're email messages. But you'll see in the 45 plus, that third column to the right, we're not looking for an auto loan. We're looking for a CD or money market account. They're probably more interested in the investment accounts and retirement options and things like that, possibly, and especially if that was 60 plus instead of 45 plus. But they're going to get information about our CDs, our money markets, our investment divisions, insurance divisions, anything like that. You'll then see that it further, it changes further. The 15 to 20-year-olds, we're going to go after credit card business. The 20 to 45-year-olds, we're going to go after mortgages. If they do have a mortgage with you, but it's not less than 3 years old, we're actually going to go after HELOCs. And for the 45 plus, we're not even going to look necessarily for a mortgage. We're going to go right away after the HELOCs. So, again, we can split these and design these matrix offers and these matrix campaigns differently, for each of our clients, and we can do it, even based on lifestyle and things like that. Okay. We can also run matrix campaigns for those of you that do a significant amount of indirect lending. What we're seeing is, and what J.D. Powers has even said, is that 30% of people that purchase luxury vehicles and 33% of people that with non-luxury purchases, say they intend to work with the dealer to choose financing. It's just easy. They can walk into the dealer, they can make the arrangements, whether that's, the manufacturer, the auto manufacturer providing the financing, or they have relationships with local lenders. A third of the people that are buying vehicles think that's easier. So the challenge may not be necessarily to bring in loans from the indirect lending. The challenge is to how to make those people become profitable for your institution. In many cases, we've seen with our clients that indirect lending members and indirect lending customers don't even necessarily know or care what institution has the loan. They just wanted the keys to that car, and they got it because, they opened their first account. They don't know anything about the institution. They don't know what other products and services are available. So the solution to that is obviously to educate them, thank them for their auto loan business, and then continue to cross-sell products and services to them. Let me show you an example of what an indirect lending matrix could look like. So in this case, everybody that's a new indirect lending account holder is going to come into the top of this campaign, and everybody's going to get a letter that welcomes them to your institution, explains what's different about you, and that, hey, we're more than just auto loans. We're not necessarily even going to cross-sell any particular product and service necessarily in that letter, but we're just going to start that communication, that conversation, with those people about what else you have to offer. The second letter may not even necessarily promote anything. It may just talk about your convenience, your locations, your online services. If they haven't set up direct deposit yet to repay that loan, how to do those types of things. And then it's going to be actually, in this example, the third contact point that you're going to start cross-selling. Maybe we're going to look and see if they have a credit card. We know they're in the market. They were in the market for a loan. They met your criteria, your credit criteria for that auto loan. They're likely to meet that credit criteria for a credit card. So let's send them an offer for your Visa card and your balance transfer offer. After that, we could look for home loans. We can promote checking accounts. You name it. We can keep going. It's just really, touch points, and it's for the indirect lending people. It's really a function of, education. That these products and services are available, and convincing them why your institution is better, and why they should have known about you in the first place. Another opportunity is what I call a single service account holder. One of the new terms or newer terms that's come out in the industry is the term reboarding. And that's what we're talking about here. So you may have had an onboarding campaign. These people, when they first opened their first account, you tried to cross-sell additional products and services to them. For whatever reason, they weren't receptive to that. So maybe a year or 2 or 5 years later, who knows when, you decide, well, it's time for us to reach these people again, and let's reboard them with the goal of having them open up an additional account. Again, these offers are going to be based on their specific, conditions, their demographic criteria, the relationships they have with you, et cetera, et cetera. The goal of this type of campaign is really just to get them to open one additional account. It can be 2, it can be whatever you want, but in the example that I'm going to show you, the goal is to get them to open one account. As soon as they establish one additional relationship with you, they're going to be, we're going to end the reboarding process for them. So you'll see this starts off similar to the new account holder matrix, the first one that I showed you, where we're looking to see if they're close to a branch, and we're promoting checking accounts. If they didn't open that checking account or that money market letter, they're going to get a letter about money markets and CDs. If they didn't open that, they're going to get that auto loan letter. If they didn't do that, we're going to send them the credit card and balance transfer offer. If they didn't go there, we're going to send them home loans. And again, these can be any combinations of other products and services. But the goal of this matrix is to get them to open any one of these additional accounts. And, if that doesn't work, then it's time to consider how you either feeing them out of existence or determining what the next strategy is there. We've heard from a number of our clients that mergers and acquisitions are a part of their growth strategy. And if that's the case, then you should really make, set up a matrix campaign as part of that strategy so that when you merge, or acquire that additional institution, that you know exactly how you're going to start communicating with those new account holders. Here's the matrix that we have in place, to start cross-selling all these additional products and services, that these people didn't have before. Rather than trying to develop it, while that merger is happening, because you're doing 10,000 other things at that time. If you have this matrix plan in place and have the matrix designed, then you can just turn it on and off as you need to, depending on the mergers and acquisitions. So here's one additional example for you, that shows, an example of a matrix campaign in the case of a merger or acquisition. That first letter, again, is going to welcome them to the new institution, right? That is business as usual. The branch is still open. The same friendly faces that you're used to seeing are still there. But look at all these great new services that you have, to take advantage of now. Maybe we're going to start looking for home loans, right? Maybe the institution that you merged in didn't offer, mortgages, or you have a better mortgage program or whatever it might be. So we're going to look for that home loan, and we're going to send out a letter for that mortgage. We're going to look and see if they have combined deposit balances, over $5,000. If they don't, we'll look for a checking account. If they do, we'll promote money markets and CDs and investments. Everybody's going to get a letter about the electronic services. Make sure you use our home banking and our bill pay and our e-statements and things like that. Sign up for our email lists, etc. Everybody may get a general letter, here are all the lending services that we offer, and by the way, we have a great credit card. Now's the chance to transfer your balances to that card. And then, always ask in these instances for referrals. Now that you have these great products and services available to you, do you have any friends, relatives, coworkers, that may want to take advantage of these services as well? There are other opportunities for matrix campaigns. I just haven't necessarily, illustrated examples for them. But anytime you open a new facility, obviously both to the account holders at that facility and even to the community around it, there's matrix campaign opportunities. For the credit unions that have large segs, there's opportunities for matrix campaigns that are seg specific. Any of you that have investment or insurance divisions, we can design campaigns for those particular product offerings. Senior clubs, any of you that have, business accounts, things like that. You can be creative with these. Anytime you have, a group of account holders that you want to cross-sell to, consider a matrix campaign. There's all sorts of studies. You can, Google them and find them that show that the number of times you communicate, with any individual, the more likely you are to get business from them. When you design your matrix, whether it's LKCS helping you or any other, vendor helping you, or even if you're trying to do it yourself, these are the types of questions that you really start, to needing to ask yourself. What are your advantages in the marketplace? What products and services do you have that nobody else can beat? Maybe it's, you've got great rates on this product, or you've got an unbelievable, combination of services here. But you also need to be realistic and realize what are your disadvantages. In some cases, maybe on one product, your rate isn't going to be the best in town. There's obviously ways to overcome that, but you need to know that, so that you're not communicating the wrong message in these matrix offers. What products and services do you want to promote? What are your growth goals? Right now there's not a lot of people looking for deposits. Everybody's looking for loans. So, we've made adjustments to a number of our matrix campaigns, to make them heavy on the loan communication side and not as heavy, on the deposit side. What order do you want to promote these in? Sometimes that matters, sometimes it doesn't. What offers are you going to extend? Any marketing campaign, any marketing piece needs to have some type of offer associated with it for it to be effective. You can communicate, about your advantages all day, but at the end of the day, people want to know what's in it for them, and they're going to learn that by whatever offer, you're willing to extend. Which people should you target, for those products and services? What's your sweet spot for each of these products and services? Not every individual is going to be, likely to open every product and service that you have, or you would send these, these letters and emails out to everybody. Again, the idea is to make them relevant to, to specific groups, and we can certainly help with that and developing that logic that you're going to use to target and personalize each of those offers. How many different pieces are you going to send out? Are you going to send a combination of 10 different, emails and letters and phone calls, or are you going to send out 5? What are those going to say? Who's going to be responsible for sending them out? All sorts of things like that. When we do this for our customers, we obviously help with all those strategic decisions, map out these matrix campaigns, and then we handle that programming. There is a significant amount of work involved up front to actually conditionalize, all of these different offers to determine who's going to receive, which combination of letters and emails. And we actually run it each month because as these new account holders open up different accounts, that's going to obviously eliminate them from receiving certain offers and maybe add them to other offers. We can assist with the copywriting and the design of these pieces. We can obviously do the monthly import of the account data for you, which is different than, some of the other providers out there. We handle that processing. We identify which, product and service offer is going to go to each recipient, and we're going to make sure that people are not going to receive offers for products they already have. We can handle the letter printing and mailing for you. We can even do the email broadcasts. And in the case of outbound phone calls, we can provide those lists back to you so that you know who to contact by phone, each month. And then we handle the reporting and the tracking, which is a key piece of any matrix campaign. How do you know it's working for you? Well, we can show you we've sent out this many letters to this group of people, and these are the accounts that they've opened since receiving those letters, and we can do it on a one-to-one basis. Here's that auto loan letter we sent out. We sent it to these 200 people in the last 6 months, and of these 200 people, you opened X number of auto loans with a current balance of so many dollars. And we can provide those reports to you through our DataFlex platform. With LKCS, you have the ability to refine your matrix at any time, and that's important because, some letters are going to work better than others, and some emails are going to work better than others. I wish that, I could always say that everything we sent out was extremely successful. That's not necessarily true. So, you need to monitor the results so that you know what needs to be improved, what's working well, and you can continue to test variations. At the same time, you may be adding additional products and services, you may be merging with another institution, you may be opening another branch. Any of those types of things, will affect what you're doing with your matrix campaigns. So you may want to change the letter conditions and the different people, the logic associated with who's getting those. You may want to add a new letter into the mix, remove letters, or modify, any of the letters or emails, things like that you're sending out. And you're not tied to doing this for any particular amount of time. These aren't, at least with LKCS, these are not canned campaigns. You don't just have a group of letters and, and this is what you're stuck with. You can change and modify these things, as often as you would like. Just keep in mind that when you're monitoring the results, you don't necessarily want to change too much at once, because then you won't necessarily know which change made the difference, for you. Another type of campaign, and many of you have heard about what we're doing, but another type of campaign that you can execute is actually based on specific credit data. LKCS offers a credit monitoring or credit alerting service where we can actually identify your specific account holders that are actively borrowing or looking to borrow from other institutions, card dealers, mortgage lenders, whatever it might be. What we can do here is to give you the opportunity to close loans that would have gone to other lenders, and we do this by monitoring credit bureau activity every day. So we can monitor and identify your account holders that had an inquiry on their credit reports yesterday for an auto loan, a home loan, a consumer loan, or a credit card. We can then set specific credit criteria to only identify the people that will qualify for a loan based on your credit, requirements, and then send direct mail, email, or even provide, again, a list of outbound phone calls for you every day, for you to attract, for you to contact these members with a firm offer of credit, and keep those lists. We can also do credit-based prospecting as part of these matrix campaigns, where instead of only using demographic information, and account relationship information that you give us, we can actually go out to the credit bureaus and say, what are the credit parameters for these individuals? What's their credit score? When was the last time they had a vehicle loan? How many auto loans do they have outstanding? How much equity is in their home? How many years have they had, their home loan? What's their current mortgage balance? Things like that. And then based on those offers, we can send all sorts, based on that information, we can send all sorts of loan offers, whether it's for refinancing a vehicle loan or an auto loan. We can even identify the potential savings in a monthly payment. So you can specify things like, we're willing to extend an auto loan today at 3% for 60 months. Can you tell me, how many of my account holders, based on that, based on the outstanding balance on their auto loan, that I can save at least $30 a month on their monthly payment, for instance. You can then communicate that to your account holders, and show them the specific savings, and how quickly that adds up, and how easy it is for them to transfer that auto loan, to your institution, get you the loan business, and capture that business from a competitor. These matrix campaigns that we're talking about are just one component of LKCS's DataFlex marketing and reporting system. So, for those of you that don't necessarily have an MCIF, DataFlex is a tremendous alternative to an MCIF program. It provides easy access to reporting. I'm not going to necessarily go into a full demonstration of DataFlex today, but it's highly graphical, drag and drop access to your data. We import your data into this system to execute these campaigns. And we can easily add on a reporting component that gives you secure online access to your data, so that you can actually extract, cross-sell marketing lists, monitor the results of existing campaigns, identify trends in your data for each type of account, and, learn more about your account holders, all sorts of things. But it gives you access to an interactive series of reports and dashboards that you can drill into and execute without knowing anything about databases or programming. We hear from our customers over and over again how difficult it is for them to get data out of their core systems in some cases, or how IT is always backlogged and they can't get the reports that you need, for a month or two. DataFlex can help with that. So some of the things that DataFlex does is it'll actually give you a complete picture of any individual or household relationships within your institution. It'll help you identify those cross-sell opportunities, by identifying specific products and services, that might be apt for individuals. Again, it can monitor your existing promotions and track the success of your marketing campaigns. It can handle branch analysis, so you can compare account penetration and marketing success and loan business and different things between branches. It comes with, numerous dashboards and reports out of the box. And again, this is just a slight add-on to the matrix campaign piece. So if you're considering, executing matrix campaigns, let us know about that, and then obviously schedule some time with us so that we can actually show you, the entire DataFlex system, because you may find there's tremendous value in the reporting, depending on how you currently are able to get data out of your core systems. All of our matrix campaigns are based on a series of deposit and loan files. For the credit unions on the call, it's your Aries files. Aries files are required by all of the credit union examiners, so every core processing system can export those files. For the banks, on the webinar today, these are simple text files that any data processing system should be able to extract, and we can give you more information about them. We take that core deposit and loan information and we append demographic fields to it. We'll add things like age and income and gender and presence of children, and whether people own or rent their home, what their mortgage amount is, different things like that, and provide all of that information to use for both those marketing campaigns, and then if you choose to add on the DataFlex reporting component, all of that information is combined in there. We can add all sorts of additional data to that. So, if you have data from, your own MCIF system, if you want to purchase data from the credit bureaus, if you want to add data from any third-party, credit card companies or mortgage servicers or anything like that, we can add that information into this and make that part of both the matrix campaign criteria, or the matrix or the DataFlex reporting. So we do bundle the pricing for DataFlex reporting and DataFlex Matrix mailings. That provides a significant discount over purchasing either one separately. Obviously, you can purchase just the reporting or just the Matrix components. But what's involved, is for either or both, there is an initial setup charge to do that programming, to set up the import of your data every month, things like that. For the Matrix reporting, there's some training involved so that you know how to run those reports. There's a monthly charge for either the matrix processing or for the DataFlex reporting. That monthly charge incorporates importing that data every month and hosting that data for you. If you have us append demographic information, there is a data append charge based on the number of account holders that we have in the database for you. And then obviously if we're sending out any email or direct mail for you, there's going to be a cost per mail piece or per email that's sent out. And then if you need any custom reports that aren't necessarily included, either you can build them yourself with the DataFlex reporting engine, or we can build those for you. And we can do that custom reporting even if you don't purchase the reporting from us. So if you just purchase Matrix campaigns and yet you want to receive a monthly or a quarterly report that shows you the effectiveness of your campaigns, that's something that we can certainly help with. And that's all I have for you. I mean, matrix campaigns are highly individualized for every institution. So, I really encourage you to give me a call or shoot me an email, and we can have a further conversation about your specific, needs and specific goals with matrix campaigns. And I'd be happy to then show you also that DataFlex reporting system if you're interested in seeing how that works and discussing how we can design and execute a matrix specifically for you. I haven't seen any questions come in, but I would certainly be happy to answer them. I will stay on the line and watch for any questions. If you do have them, please feel free to type them into the GoToWebinar toolbar on your screen. As I said before, everybody will be receiving a copy of the presentation and also a link to our YouTube channel where we'll post the recording of the webinar later this afternoon. So thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about matrix campaigns, and I look forward to speaking with you all soon.